am Ultra Llama! Welcome to Ultra Llama's game reviews. We're gonna try to get a game going here. Beat Adgineer earlier today, and so you can watch that one. He had very great luck the first two turns. Had one time where he had bad luck where I rolled a 6, and he immediately forfeits and accuses me of cheating. So, I just want to point out that this guy is always in the lobby and always claiming that there's like the game is rigged against lower rated players, that it always favors higher rated players. You can watch that game for yourself. It's Ultra Llama game number 4. So check that one out, and yeah, you can see that it's not really rigged for higher rated players. He just didn't play well, and then the first moment he hits adversity, he quits. So it's actually, I've played him 3 times under different profiles, and he's done the same thing every single time. He quits the very second he has any adversity. So it's not that the game is rigged against him, it's that he doesn't notice all the good luck he has, and he only notices the bad luck. But let's skip over that and let's move on to the next game. So I'm just going to pause this while we wait for a competitor. Ultra Llama is on a pretty big roll lately, 34-9 record, but I think I've won, I don't know how many I've won in a row. It's been a lot. It has been a lot. I don't think I've lost any of these. I'm pretty sure I won all of these. I could be on it's possible I'm on an 8 or 9 game winning streak. I really don't know. But we're going to pause. We'll see if we get an opponent. All right, looks like we got a player here, Adgineer. And don't believe I've ever played this person before, but we drew the Soviets. And I don't even recognize that flag. He's rated 1570, but he's got a losing record. So it could mean he's gotten better lately. It could mean he's playing a lot of higher rated players. I don't know. Note that I am about 200 points above him. I should probably mute the TV. What am I going to headline here? I guess AI War is the only thing that really makes sense. I don't think anything else really works. So yeah, probably AI War, coup, Iran. Unless he leaves Italy pretty vulnerable, I might go for it still, but the one thing is I do have DNC, and I'd rather just play it for the 1 VP rather than have to give him 2. Alright, so that's sort of the scenario I was expecting. I was going to say wanted, but I don't really know that I care one way or another. I'm sort of indifferent. Ugh! Second straight. Actually, this, I don't know. I might even had more games. My opponents keep getting red scare every single game. Well, at least this roll worked on Arab Israeli. Let's see how DNC does. Please roll a 4. A 1. Alright. Remember, as Anarian says, higher rated players always roll well. It's rigged against the lower rated players. I should just keep that up. I don't want to keep bugging everyone with it, but I do think it's funny. Good old Anarian. But this person's a different person. I don't know anything about this person. I haven't played them yet. We'll go ahead and introduce ourselves. I am Ultra Llama! Huh. He rolls a 1 too. Okay, this is interesting. I don't know why I don't know that was necessarily the right move there, to be honest, but we're gonna go ahead and play decall. So it is nice that we have decall and destall, but it's also not good because I don't have many ops with Red Scare. I mean, I'd rather have them than not have them, but this hand is going to be a bit tricky. I'm probably just going to have to stick an op into Lebanon. So the AI war, that is the one thing it did accomplish, is I can take Lebanon pretty easily here. But I'm not going to be able to take Iraq, which is what I prefer to do. I don't know. Maybe we'll see what he does. I don't think I'm going to be able to take Iraq, though. It's too many priorities here. I think, you know, this would be a really good hand, like, if he hadn't had Red Scare. Like, if Red Scare just waited turn 3 or something, I think this would be pretty good for me. Now, he could have headlined defectors, though, and canceled out Arab-Israeli war, but the thing is, Arab-Israeli war is just not that powerful given my hand, because I can't really stop him in the Middle East anyway. Unless, you know, he space races first. I'm going to call that a significant mistake, actually. So we'll probably hold special relationship. I think that's a mistake because now that allowed me to block off Iraq. Now he does get the 2 VPs first, but I just think that was much more important to get into Iraq and Malaysia than it was to space that. So let's see what he does with this. Alright, so I still can't play Middle East scoring because I have to deal with this. So we'll do this. I really want to play into France, but I think I got to go Lebanon just as a backup plan in case he decides to play into Iraq. And I'm suddenly stuck in a situation where I have to score Middle East for -4. So this is the problem with Red Scare. It is such... if I could eliminate any card from the game, it'd be Red. It's not necessarily that I'd eliminate Red Scare, but I'd take it away from the early war. Because it creates these really unbalanced situations. Now, in this case, because I got decall and destall, it might be okay for balance. But like a game where I don't get those as the Soviets, this is just a miserable game. Like, you could say, if I had a similar hand, just take away destall and give me, like, NORAD, and take away decall and give me Olympic Games. Like, it might be really tough to come back after sort of turn 1. And it's not impossible. I've definitely come back from the situations, but I've kept statistics on this, and if like so the really bad one is when your opponent gets Red Scare both turn 1 and turn 2. And in those situations, or not turn 1 and turn 2, turn 1 and turn 3, or turn 2 and turn 3. In those situations where your opponent is able to headline Red Scare on 2 of the first 3 turns, I found my win rate like fell from probably about 40 percentage points. It's a really big decline. It's just not a good card for balance, but it is the reality. Well, I wish I'd waited on that now, but whatevs. Whatevs. Well, we're definitely taking those ops from Romania now. You can almost argue that's a mistake on his part to play Romanian abdication, but it's one of those mistakes that's sort of... it's tricky, because there's not like a good scenario. And this is going to be tough too. I really want to put it in India, but I don't want to leave Venezuela all alone on an island there either. It's definitely between Brazil and India. I got a lot of vulnerabilities though here. We're gonna gamble. I don't know if that's the right move or not. So if I had not been red scared, I think I'd have a very strong position right now. But with red scare, we're just gonna have to wait and see because I'm very vulnerable in a lot of spots. I do have some access, but it could pretty easily get and take away if, for example, he has a 4-op here. Yeah, so that helps him a lot. And I'm probably just gonna have to let him take that too. Unless I get D and C, which I can't get D and C, can I? Alright, well, has Defector's been played? Yep. Well, I really only have one headline that's worth a crap, so we're gonna play it. I probably just have to give up Thailand. I am not happy about that result, but I don't know that I have a better option, right? I could play Marshall Plan into. Like, I could do something like this. A bit of a gambit. This is definitely a weird move on my part, but I'm gonna go ahead and chance it. The reason I'm doing this is because, I mean, he is gonna get the coup, but it is a bit tricky for him with this move. Like, he can coup Venezuela or Brazil. He better hope he hits. He could coup Africa. Well, Africa is probably gonna hit. It'd be fine. He'd probably want to coup Angola or Zaire in that case. He's going to use Cambridge 5. Let's see what he coups. So that's not really that bad of a result for me. I mean, it does suck that he rolled a 5, but overall, I'm fine with that result. I think because we played you an intervention, we got 5 action rounds. We're gonna have to just go ahead and play the China card anyway, so might as well get it out of the way now while we can still take this. Alright. And the reason I went ahead and played that because I needed to make a move into South Korea anyway, and I'm gonna have pretty limited ops. So I might as well just go ahead and use the China card. I have to play it anyway because I have 5-year plan and Europe scoring, and I got to use 5-year plan on Europe scoring. So what would happen is I'd have an empty action round otherwise, which I could maybe do, but I think I'd just rather go ahead and play the China card. Really want to start protecting South America. If I draw CIA next turn, then I probably have to surrender a bit of Africa to him because he'll probably coup Angola or Nigeria next. But what I don't want him doing is cooing Venezuela or Brazil successfully. Africa can be flipped back. South America is a lot more difficult to flip back. So, how would I analyze this game so far? I think he's played okay. He made the one mistake, though, spacing Fidel. In fact, I don't think I would have spaced Fidel at all. I would have just evented it. So, interestingly, he goes into Algeria. I wasn't actually expecting that move. I would like to keep pressure on in Asia, but I just have so few ops. I mean, and I'm gonna have to wait the last action round to play 5-year plan. And I desperately needed to get one into Venezuela. I mean, it didn't have to be then, though, so maybe I could have waited. I don't know that I want to play Special Relationship. I'm debating it. The benefit is if CIA comes out next turn and he events it as the headline, then like something like De Gaulle, because I don't think De Gaulle's come out. No, it hasn't, and neither has Suez. So De Gaulle or Suez could be very bad for him in that situation. And I don't really want to give him the ops for Special Relationship there. What else is out there? Truman's out there, right? Probably not that big of a danger since I don't control anything, but... or don't have any... like, I don't have France or Italy. Okay, so there's De Gaulle, so that ruins that plan. Do we still got Suez out there? Yeah, Suez is still out there. Socialist governments could come back out. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and space this anyway. So we miss. Now I got to debate, do I want to play C... I think I'm just going to play CNS for the event. I really, really desperately need ops, so much that I'm considering playing CNS for the ops, but since I missed that space race roll, I think CNS is a little bit bigger now because it gives me a point, or a VP, and now it... the other big thing is it can't come back out and benefit him somehow. He's definitely had the better luck other than the access cards. I've had the better access cards for sure. No question about that. Alright, we'll take our VP. So we need to get an op into Brazil for sure. We don't have to play into Libya yet. We can wait till next turn. I would like to get one into South Africa, though, so if he coups Angola, I still have access. I'm a little bit surprised he hasn't taken Indonesia yet, but maybe he's just waiting for me to make a move down there. Alright, these are the things we must do. Costa Rica is sort of a weird move, but I'm going to go for it here. It doesn't really benefit him to coup it right now, and if he does get CIA in headlines and decides to coup Panama, I still have access. And he's going to tie up Asia. So scoreboard-wise, we're not looking too good. So we're definitely playing the long game. And that's really just a consequence of getting decall and destall, the good access cards, but having very poor luck on the ops. So the good thing this turn is I have socialist governments. So if he does headline, I really can't take it though. Yeah, he did headline CIA. I was right about that happening. Or at least the possibility of it happening. But, what do I do here? However, Truman is out there still. And I can't take France, right? He's got Truman in his hand, and I can't take France. So I don't know that it ends up being that useful. It would have been a lot more useful if I had Truman in my hand. I think he's going to coup Angola or Nigeria, one or the other. I think we're going to have to overprotect. That doesn't end up being too bad for us. I think we're going to have to overprotect. Maybe not. Maybe we just go ahead and event Asia scoring here. I don't really see. The last game I rolled a 6 on the Indo-Pac, and I kind of rather play Indo-Pac before playing Asia scoring, but I'm really afraid he's just going to slam ops into South Korea or North Korea. Was Korean War removed? No. Alright. We'll take a chance. We leave South Korea vulnerable, but Korean War has not been invented yet. And so when you have low ops, you really do have to take some gambles. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to gamble in South Korea because he's already going to play the China card. He does play it right into South Korea. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. That sucks ass. So that ends up being a huge mistake on my part. So Ultra Llama's expert advice is giving you bad advice, apparently. I gambled. He's just going to play right into South Korea. I'm screwed. Stupid Ultra Llama advice. Well, we're not in good shape. In spite of decall and destall, we're not in good shape. We're going to be down 8 VPs. We're down in Europe. We're really down everywhere that it matters. I mean, we're ahead in Middle East, but even that's not really that big of a deal. He's got Europe. Or no. I played 5-year plan last turn, so he doesn't necessarily have Europe. Alright. I'm going to lose this one. I think my winning streak could come to an end. I really botched that. I should have just played Asia scoring rather than chancing it. I tried to learn the lesson from the last game, but the lesson was not a good lesson. The lesson was that I hit a 1 in 6 roll, which doesn't happen except 1 in 6 times. Oh my god, yeah. This might be game over. I mean, I'm in really bad shape now. Really bad shape. We're going to have a hard time winning this one. So what do I need to happen to win this game? I need to score South America for a big score. I need to score Middle East for a big score. Some of it's just bad luck. I mean, I have had bad luck, but I really should have just played Asia scoring. That was a botched move. So that's 6 VPs that I could have kept me alive longer. So you can see how these little tiny mistakes, they seem like tiny mistakes, they can really add up. So we'll see if this one does. Because at 6 VPs, let's say, you know, we're in the late war and I've got a situation where I could potentially win via DEFCON, but he's getting close to 20 VPs, or maybe War Games comes out and it's like he's got an 8 or 9 VP lead and he's able to win via War Games. So it could cost me the win. Now, he has had an insane number of ops. He has had every 4 op, I think, right? Like, I haven't had any, have I? I mean, other than playing the China card. Yeah, I haven't had a he has had 6 4 ops. I've had 0. So yeah, I am gonna beat myself up a bit for the mistake, but that's the thing about it. You really have to play perfectly in games like this where you're having bad luck. Even though I got D-stall, I've still had pretty horrendous luck in this one. Alright. Oh, God, I made another mistake. So Ultra Llama's expert advice is not doing you very well right now. I should have put op into Venezuela instead of Malaysia. I don't know why I didn't. I always go 3-2. And for some reason, I decided not to do that this time. Like a big dummy. Ultra Llama not doing too well, but I gotta maintain the Ultra Llama facade. So let's go. I am Ultra Llama. Ultra Llama is always confident about winning, even when he's actually not at all confident about winning. I think Ultra Llama's confidence actually does intimidate some people into forfeit. It is crazy, but it happens. So Defectors is gone. So we're gonna go ahead and headline ABM. I am Ultra Llama. Oh, God. Oh, this will be interesting. I don't know what he's going to do with that. I would have much rather him draw on Olympic Games or R-Man. What am I going to space? I really don't want to event Camp David. Camp David is really bad for me here, but Bear Trap is always bad. Unless you just have like 6 bad cards in your hand, then yeah, you just have to Bear Trap yourself. But I don't have such a bad hand that I want to Bear Trap myself, right? AFP, as long as he does not coup successfully in Panama or South America, AFP is not that expensive for me. And AFP is Alliance for Progress. Sorry, I always abbreviate these names because I play this game so much that I, even in my head, like, I abbreviate them. Alright, so we're forced to play AFP. I kind of wanted to play Decall before he could get down there, but not gonna happen. We just have to go ahead and roll with this. Give him the point. It's not looking good on the scoreboard, but, you know, maybe we could luck up and we get a big score in South America. We're not surrendering yet. It's not completely hopeless, but it doesn't look good. Now, I would contrast this when you're down. Sorry, I had to adjust my seat there. I would contrast this like type of situation with the U.S. and USSR. Like being down 14 VPs with the U.S. is not nearly as bad as being down 14 VPs with the USSR because you're much more dependent on VPs. Like it's a much more important path to victory for the USSR. Whereas, I mean, you do need VPs as the U.S., but final scoring is sort of beneficial for the U.S. I don't know the stats, but I would assume the U.S. wins a big majority of games in final scoring. I mean, I don't know the actual percentages, probably at least 60%. It might even be higher than that. And the reason is that the long game really favors the U.S. Particularly this mid-war really favors the U.S. We may be able to space too. It's possible. I'm inclined, like normally I don't mind eventing our man in Tehran too much in the mid-war, but I think in this instance where I have big scores available and I'm very far behind in VPs, I might just play into Iran to cancel out our man. You know, I would space it, except I have 2 cards that I want to space that are higher priority space with Bear Trap and Camp David. So maybe that's the way to go with our man. It does set up a potentially really bad situation for him if Muslim Revolution comes out. Sort of a long shot, because also, you know, Sadat shouldn't come out. Okay, so I figured he'd do that. That's not a big deal. We knew that was coming. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do this. We don't want to chance with that. We don't want to give him our man right now. We get that op into Iran. Gives us a little bit better access and makes Muslim Rev a bit more painful for him. And I am lucky that I'm just going to go ahead and go hog wild in the Middle East. I do need to coup some. him out of Colombia. So he's going to space. He fails the space race roll. We're not going to respond to that yet. We're just going to go ahead and coup. So the thing is going for me, obviously the thing not going for me is the scoreboard. The thing going for me, obviously South America, but it could, you know, Brush War, ABM, Junta, OAS, all those cards are bad. The only one that's not too terrible is PCR is not too bad right now. But all the rest are really bad for me there. I think I just have to go ahead and space what I'm going to space. And I haven't decided if it's Camp David or Bear Trap yet. I think I'm going to space Camp David and hold Bear Trap. Bear Trap I can still space if Red Scare, if he gets Red Scare again. And if I just have a really awful hand that's like Colonial Rearguards, VOA, you know, some other awful card, maybe I can Bear Trap myself. So Truman's not been removed, but it's in the muck, right? What about Independent Reds? We don't really care too much about his access there, though, so we'll just go ahead and do that. Alright, get rid of Camp David. We fail. So that means we gotta hold Bear Trap the next turn. I could either take Malaysia or Saudi Arabia. It's sort of a toss-up here. Or the other option would be to take Uruguay. In fact, I might end up doing that. Uruguay doesn't seem like a high priority move, but I want to, like, I mean, here's part of my philosophy here is, as particularly, it's even more true as the Soviets with the U.S. Sometimes you can just get away with these games in the U.S. where every region's kind of tied, and then you just have that last action round advantage in final scoring. But as the USSR, you really want to build up some sort of source of competitive advantage in this game. And right now, my sources of competitive advantage are South America and hopefully the Middle East. But I have a disadvantage in Europe, even in Africa now, but Africa can be flipped. And Asia is also bad for me right now, so I don't think I have any other options, do I? Alright. So this is trying to protect myself against Brush War, Junta, a whole host of cards. I don't know if I'm going to succeed, though. I really do not feel like... Right now, I think he's going to win the game. I've mounted pretty great comebacks before, though, so I might be able to do it again here. But right now, I would say the game definitely favors him with that VP lead. I mean, it's completely plausible that he's able to get back into it in South America, or that he gets Kennedy, Ask Not, and he's able to reestablish position that way. So, I mean, so he's still, you know, things really favor him. I think, like, the ideal situation would be that I get Brezhnev on turn 7 and I get Sadat on turn 7. Well, at least he had to not event arms race, because that would have been pretty devastating for me. Alright, we get Brush War. We still can't headline Missile Envy, though. Do I want to headline Brezhnev here? I think so, because I have a lot of really bad cards. I don't know, though. See, I need Brezhnev if he plays Red Scare. I'm actually considering the self-bear trap here. So what, is Defectors gone at least? I don't really want to use Brush War, though. Yeah, I think we're going to, though. I'm not crazy about it, but I don't think we have another good move here, so we're just going to go ahead and go for Italy. There we go. Okay, this is pretty scary because this could be game over. This could really be game over. If he's got Africa scoring, I am in really bad shape. We are going to take his highest value card at least. You know, if it's flower power, so be it. Okay, that one's pretty good for me. Because now he's in very bad shape in the Middle East. But I still, it's really bad for me because if he has Africa scoring, I'm just screwed right now. Huh. I might be screwed anyway if he's going to roll sixes like that. Let's see. I don't think how I learn is going to be that important here. I mean, I just don't know. I mean, I have a big advantage in Middle East and South America, but they might come to naught. I mean, if he has Africa, if he has Kennedy, there are so many bad cards for me right now that this game could be over pretty soon. This is not my favorite move of all time, but oh, you know what I need to do first though? I need to realign him out of Panama. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Alright. Only took 3 rolls, huh? Okay, at least we dodged that bullet. Still far from ideal situation, but the problem with playing Bear Trap is he could pretty easily have OAS. You know what? We're just gonna do that. I don't think we want to self-bear trap. It's tempting, but I don't think it's what I want to do here. Please fail. Damn it. I really don't want him to... Really don't want to have to event some of these cards, but... Alright. I'm not crazy about having to event Nixon, by the way. It's a really bad card for me to have to event here. Alright, what do we do in the last action round? Do we just play... Do we grab ABM or Brush War? Maybe with Salt? I guess we could get OPEC too. Oh, thank God. Alright, that gives us some breathing room. We're just going to go ahead and take OPEC. I'm not crazy about my situation here, but... Okay. Alright, so we do get a little bit of luck that we're able to score Middle East and South America, both for big scores. Because the game was going to be pretty tough to win, if not for that. Well, it's tempting to headline OPEC here. I think I really want to headline South African unrest instead. This is a bad hand. I might end up bear trapping myself on this one too. The alternative though, well, God, I really don't want to play Usuri though before Southeast Asia comes out. I wouldn't be so down on playing it otherwise, but let's see what he does with this. I suspect he's gonna play into Venezuela and coup there, but I'm not 100% sure. He could also just go into Panama. But I think Venezuela is what makes sense. Well, that didn't really make a lot of sense to me, but... Alright. Solidify our presence there. Let's just go ahead and dump DNC for the 2 VPs. Take whatever advantage we can get. We roll a 1, but at least we cooed Nigeria, and it doesn't make that big of a deal. Let's see if Special Relationship's been played. God, Special Relationship hasn't been played yet. That's really bad for me. Oh, I have such a bad hand. Maybe bear trap myself. I think maybe that's the move here. At least allows me to get rid of colonial rear guards. I don't know though. I'm so reluctant to bear trap myself. Because I can... NATO's sort of a problem though. Because I don't want to give him the 2 VPs. And the 2 ops. Anywhere in Europe. A Special Relationship were out, it would change things quite a bit though. Alright, so this actually makes things a bit easier. Because now we can play Usuri like this, and we don't have to worry about reinforcing our position in Asia. Now we do have to give him Africa more or less, but it's an okay trade-off. We're definitely in better shape now than we were a few turns ago. You know, I don't know that the game favors me yet. It's still a mixed bag, but I feel like I have a legit shot at winning now, whereas it felt pretty dire there for a bit. So I think we're going to space Colonial Rearguards next if he doesn't do anything dramatic. We're just going to try to hold Bear Trap, I guess. We've been holding it a few turns, it feels like. Really hoping he has Southeast Asia. I could use those points. See, I suspect he played the China card because he has Cultural Revolution in his hand, and that's part of the reason why I just went ahead and evented Usuri. And so I don't think it's a bad move to play Usuri when you have the China card in your hand a lot of the times. I think it makes sense. It's cheaper just to give him the China card than it is to have to deal with all the damage. Alright, let's try to get these 2 Space Race VPs. So that one's big. Probably losing in Africa. Yep, we are. Let's just go ahead and get rid of this too. Maybe I should have taken Saudi Arabia first, but I don't know that it's a huge deal right now. I guess as of right now, my next move is independent reds into Greece. Unless, you know, he plays independent, unless he plays puppet governments into Greece. That always seems to happen, doesn't it? Alright, whatever. So Europe domination's probably a far-off dream at this point, but what I'm really just trying to do is protect Italy from brush war a little bit. Because he didn't do that, and that's why I have it. I really want him to have Southeast Asia, but I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't think Kennedy's come out, right? So that's bad for me too. Also, Lone Gunman's not out there, so yeah, he's probably going to be able to use Ask Not to discard a lot of bad cards, which sucks. But it's reality. Not much I can do there. Alright. I am happy at least we're doing okay in Asia. He could slam the China card back into Korea, but he still has Korean War to deal with, right? I don't even think it's in the muck. It has to come out soon. But since he's probably hoarding Ask Not, it could easily be one of those cards that he gets next turn. I'm really not happy about having to event NATO. I cannot reiterate that enough. I would like to play into Saudi Arabia, but I really want to hold on to South America pretty badly. And so yeah, Europe's probably no way I can get domination. Maybe though, because Suez is still out there, reformer. He's leaving France sort of underprotected. Oh, thank God. So that also may mean he doesn't have Ask Not. Maybe we got a chance at getting it. I hope I get Ask Not. Oh, but I also got Lone Gunman, so that sort of cancels out part of the reason I wanted to get it. Make sure we had a reshuffle. Oh, we did not have a reshuffle. Okay. Of course, problematically, I don't have a good headline. I guess I got a headline Cultural Revolution. Hog! Just when I feel like the game's starting to swing in my direction finally. And I have an awful hand too. There's not a whole lot I can do with it. Ugh. Alright. No reason to event Lone Gunman. We're just going to coup with it. And this is... Normally on turn 7 we would event Lone Gunman, but there hasn't been a reshuffle yet. So for that reason, we did not event it. Now the funny thing is I'm probably going to have to trigger a reshuffle with Ask Not. So let's see. The card I really don't want to play is OAS here. I don't really want to play Special Relationship either, but I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to play John Paul II. Muslim, yeah, Muslim Rev. I got that with let's just go ahead and do this. Not happy about it, but we got to do it. So if we're going to do it, we might as well get that op in there. Okay, so one good thing is even though it sucks we're under Red Scare, we do get Eastern European Unrest this turn, which is good because it's a card that gets much worse in the late war. So we'd much rather, if we have to event this, and we do pretty much, we'd much rather event it now than later. I'm almost thinking about eventing OAS instead of Special Relationship, though. I really don't want to event Special Relationship. So we really have no chance at getting European domination, I don't think. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm just going to hope that he isn't able to swing Italy with Brush War. That's the only thing I care about. I am definitely debating playing OAS. Not happy about it, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as Special Relationship right now. So, keep Special Relationship. I should mention I really do not want to event this card either. This is a really bad card for me. At least Truman's in the muck. I would much prefer Truman just be totally out of the deck right now. And maybe I should have considered... well, let's see. Is Warsaw Pact? Yeah, Warsaw Pact's been removed. So maybe I should have considered eventing Special Relationship over John Paul II. Since I'm not going to get European domination anyway, but I really hate to give him 2 VPs. I really do. Linde helps a little bit. Makes me wish I hadn't put those ops in there. I probably shouldn't have. That was a little mistake on my part. Alright, let's see what damage he does with this. Though I think I'd just rather deal with these bad events than give him the China card back. Especially if he's going to try to take Cuba. So that makes the China card more valuable for me if he takes Cuba. Alright. I don't think that was a particularly well used OAS, but I roll a 1, so it doesn't really matter. If I roll a 2 or a 3, it looks like a stupid OAS. And I guess he's going to miss the rolls. Oh, thank God I hit something. I mean, it doesn't matter that much, but at least I get the VPs. Alright. Well, there's really nothing I'm too concerned about him discarding here. I mean, he could have, like, We Will Bury You, right? Flower Power. Yeah, he's got We Will Bury You. That's fine. The things I don't want him to be able to discard are Lone Gunman, South America scoring, and Middle East scoring. And we have all of those have been played, so we're not too concerned about that. Willie Brandt. I'll take the point. God. These die rolls are killing me. So this is a game, like I said, if he had gotten decall and destall in the early war and been able to held him to turn 3, this would be... I think this would be almost an impossible game for me to win, but that was not the case, so... We still haven't had the reshuffle. Okay, I really need to get rid of Star Wars. I think we're going to play Iran-Contra. It's not like a common headline for me, but... And I'm going to have to vent Solidarity, which sucks. Not happy about that at all. The reason I have to vent is because I got to space tear down this wall, and I can't space. Huh. Well, that's an interesting one. Alright. Let's Iran-Contra this thing up. I have mixed views on that. Like I see some players do it. Play KAL as the U.S. When you don't have South Korea. I don't know that I like it in this situation though. I don't think it's terrible, but I think I'd rather have those 4 ops. So I think OSS has gone one small step. Once again, apologize if I just keep abbreviating cards. I tend to do that. I don't even think about it. So we have to space tear down this wall. Oh, thank God. Thank God. Okay, that was a break in our favor, that's for sure. CIA's... Yeah, CIA's gone, okay. So, now the downside is Star Wars can come back. Actually, Star Wars and Tear Down This Wall can come back out because we still haven't had a reshuffle, so I could still get burned by these cards. Let's see where he plays this. Looks like he played it in South America. So, I have an advantage on the realigns. And I tell you what, we're just going to go ahead and do this. Let's just make this really impossible for him. You've got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. What the hell? Sorry. This game can be pretty frustrating. That was a brilliant move on my part, and the dice decided to respond in the dumbest way possible, I guess. Alright, whatever. Guess we're gonna coup now. I cannot believe that. That is completely insane. Of course he's gonna hit his realigns. Well, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Got to be fucking kidding. And I have to event this, right? I can't do anything else? No, I have to event it. Wait, no. I do have to event it, but I can do this. Alright. So there we go. I don't know why I wasn't thinking of that before. Well, he definitely has the advantage now, though. I mean, that South America, the bad luck in South America just really screwed me over. I mean, that's absurd. I had a pretty big realign advantage. It was like 3-0, right? Let's see, why is it only 2? That shouldn't be right, though, because didn't I have Iran-Contra? I'm quite confused here, because I controlled Brazil and Venezuela, so that's 2. He controlled Colombia, so that's 2-1, but I had Iran-Contra, so shouldn't It'd have been +2 versus +0. And somehow he rolls the same thing on every roll, and I roll almost the same thing on every roll. Ugh. But that totally flips the game. I mean, very difficult for me to win at this point. Yeah, I'm really trying to find a path to victory. I mean, Lone Gunman could still come out. There's not like a lot of other paths right now though. Because he's going to be ahead on the scoreboard. I mean, that South America rolls just completely screwed me. I didn't really have a choice to do that, but it made complete sense in the situation to take a +2 bonus when he'd play Chernobyl. But it's just going to kind of get beat by bad luck. I've had a lot of bad luck this entire game. The only thing I really had good luck with was that he didn't draw Kennedy. He drew South America and Middle East here. Otherwise, it's not been very good for me. Not been very good at all. I would rather hold Latin American debt crisis. I can put it back in the deck. He's taking a long time to decide. Alright, so the question is... I just don't know if it makes sense here to play Latin American debt crisis. It might make more sense to hope it comes back out later. Because it doesn't really get me any important objective right now. He can just refuse to discard to it. This is an interesting move too. I definitely think he's going to win now. I mean, I've had pretty bad luck and continues to be bad here. I'm not saying I don't have a shot at winning. I do, but the odds with that luck he had in South America, that's just totally flipped the game. Made it a competitive game to a game that looks very tricky for me to win. However, I do have the Reformer and Glasnost now, and I get to see his headlines, so things change very quick in this game, you gotta admit. I definitely am headlining the Reformer. And then I'm probably playing Glasnost to take France, maybe? Or no, I don't need Glasnost to take France. I could play Comic-Con. And Chernobyl's already gone. Right? So he just that's how he flipped South America. Huh. Well, this is very interesting, I gotta admit. That's actually a pretty good headline for him. We're gonna Reformer this thing up. I think I'm gonna play Glasnost. And my reasoning is You know, now obviously it's more overpowered with the Reformer, but it allows me to get that fourth op into... You've got to be kidding me. He's able to discard Lone Gunman. I mean, he's had so much luck. The downside is I'm at risk with Truman. The upside is that this forces him to perhaps not coup immediately. And I don't want him to coup. So we can just dump off NORAD at the end of this turn, pretty much. Even hold it to next turn. We're going to space AWACS. Not sure what I'm going to do about Evil Empire yet. Maybe I should hold that instead of NORAD. Alright, so he's forced to plug War Games, though that's also bad for us because we can't draw War Games now. Alright, Indo-Pac's sort of a long shot, and I'm not too worried about it. Oh, man. Of course, he could just counter coup back a 6, so might not matter. We'll see. Alright. That sucks. I don't know how worthwhile that would be to play that. Let's see. I think we go with Comic-Con here. He's getting very low on his timer. He wasn't doing too bad on time for a while, but he's gotten very slow these past couple turns. Even though I've not had great luck with realigns, we'll go for one again. Alright, things look a little less bleak now than they did last turn. But they still look pretty bad. I mean, I might be able to flip Africa. Or not flip Africa, but get it to control. But then again, I might not, because it's, you know, if he gets grain cells or something, he's just able to flip Zaire next turn. I knew he had that. I guess I have to play this. I'm not crazy about it, but c'est la vie. And tear down this wall can still come back out. Solidarity can still come back out. Alright. And I have to give him... Take away flower power, too. I don't think I'm in good shape, but it's possible I could win. I'm starting to shift the board a little bit back in my favor, but Central America is a really big problem for me. Alright, so this is just a no-brainer. I can't really do much except space this. I keep missing. Alright, let's see what we're going to do with South African. That's a card I needed too. But I do not get it, so... Alright. I don't think I'm in good shape, but... You know, maybe if we get Aldrich Ames or Terrorism next turn... We can't get double Terrorism now, but... Maybe Aldrich Ames or Terrorism could make this... a little better for us. Indopac's gone. So let's see. It's 4-3 once you take out Shuttle Dip in Asia. So maybe I could get Asia back. We'll see what we get this next turn. It's definitely going to depend on what type of hand. If we have a low op hand next turn or a lot of bad scoring cards, that's really bad for us, by the way. That's definitely huge for him because that's going to make it really difficult. And of course he gets to... Oh, he's had such good luck. It's so frustrating. I feel like I've outplayed him, but he's had by far the better luck out of us. Well, I do draw Europe and Middle East, so that's pretty good. I get VOA, which is... As long as he doesn't have terrorism, it's good. Oh, yeah. I might have cooed Panama if I'd known I was going to roll that well. God damn. Oh, that's such freaking awful luck. I feel like if I have any luck here, I would win this game, but I don't know. Like I said, I do have Europe and Middle East, so that might swing it in my favor. I hope. But, I mean, it depends. If he has Central America and Asia, it's right back in his favor. So you might think, well, maybe I'm fretting over nothing, but there's no reason he couldn't have those two cards as well. So it probably just comes down to whether he has these two cards, Asia and Central America scoring. Though the way he's playing right now, he is taking a long time. I could win by time forfeit. That's not like the way I want to win, but so he's gonna be able to flip Middle East, and that sucks ass. So he's gonna win this game, I think. I don't know. I haven't really started counting the points, but why is he realigning here? I don't think this is a good move. I mean, it might work, but he's giving me the Middle East back. Can you handle the llama? Alright, we're sort of crippled here. We just have to let him take this, as sucky as it is. I think if he doesn't have Asia... Oh, and Middle East scored, so Asia doesn't even hurt me that much now. So if he doesn't have Central America, I think I might win this game. Even if he does now, with Asia not counting as much, I think it could be okay. God, he just keeps rolling sixes. God. All right, now let's start to count these points. 1, 5, so +3. Oh, God. Sorry. I'm so frustrated right now. All right, +3, +9, +2, +9. So I think I'm gonna win now. That Europe scoring probably does the trick with the Middle East scoring. I do need the coup to get my mill ops here. Finally, I roll a 6 when it's completely irrelevant. I think I'm just going to slam ops into Asia here in this last turn. I don't know. So we're going to win, I think. I think we're still going to win. So Europe, so it really was determined by this last hand, though. If Central America and Asia scoring were in my hand rather than Europe and Middle East, he wins this game. I mean, it seems like it's not going to be... So it seems like it's going to be a blowout in my favor now, but it really would just came down to those scoring cards. If, like I said, if Asia had come out in Central America, that's what, 13 VPs for him, and instead I get 10 VPs. So look at how much that swings the score now. So I think I'm going to win by maybe, yeah, I win by 24, but that would have been, I'll say good game first. Okay, so 13 VPs, and I scored how many VPs? I scored 7 for Europe, 3 for Middle East. So 10, 13. So that would have been a 23 VP swing. So I might have still won, but it would have been really, really close. All right. That one was tense. I did end up winning. My win streak continues, but it was not an easy one for sure. That South America realign just totally threw off the game for me, but I get some luck late war, get the favorable scoring cards, and then also, you know, this Reformer and Glasnost were huge as well. This is what won the game for me, was these two cards and these two cards, Middle East, Europe, and Reformer and Glasnost combo. Alright, so thanks for watching. I am Ultra Llama! And can you handle the llama? Alright, tune in next time. Bye-bye.